Hey guys, today I want to quickly highlight all of the rogue changes that we know so far from the latest campfire chat, which was yesterday. So the developers have shared some new information about Season 7, and everything will be also playable in the PTR, which will start at December 3rd and will last 1 week, I believe. So you can also try out the new stuff there if you have some time. But yeah, let's not lose any more time and just start with the rogue changes. So the first highlight for me was that Shadow Clone seems like they will rework it. So the problem with Shadow Clone was that it was buggy all the time, basically. It was dealing way too way too little damage. It was not scaling with most of your legendary aspects and skills and paragon nodes and stuff like that. So the damage was just 100 times less than your character damage. And they have promised that they want to change this, so Shadow Clone now will benefit from all of the different damage sources of the character, so from you basically, and also all of the damage will now contribute to the player as well. So this means that Shadow Clone now will be able to also trigger, for example, all lucky chance effects. So if Shadow Clone hits a target, like a frozen target, and you have lucky chance which says after hitting a frozen target something will happen, then it will also apply to your character itself. So of course we will need to see if this will work properly or not. We are still talking about Blizzard, but at least they have promised and they want to work on that problem. And if it will work, then this will be pretty much awesome. So this will turn Shadow Clone into a very powerful ultimate, maybe the best ultimate skill for Rogue now. So alone the fact that you can now trigger all lucky chance effects is very important on many Rogue builds, such as Victimize or Andariel's Rogue. So we have a lot of lucky chance interactions in the class. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And also it will be maybe a very nice source of additional damage if the damage calculation also works as intended. But yeah, this is the first change that I wanted to highlight. I'm very excited about that. So the next one is gonna, it's not only for the Rogue class, it's gonna affect all the classes in Diablo 4, but especially the Rogue will benefit from it in a very, a good way, I think. So they also want to rework the ultimate skills again. So in the last season, they have already adjusted that ultimate skill ranks now also increase the damage and reduce the cooldown of the ultimate skills. But now they went a step further, and if you reach a rank 5, so the maximum rank without any items or some other effects on your ultimate skill, then you will also unlock a new ability of this ultimate skill. So here, for example, they have showcased this with Lazaret. This is a Druid ultimate, and here you can see at rank 5, this ultimate skill gains an additional text here which says that the damage is increased by 40% of your critical strike damage bonus. So this is actually a very significant buff to this ultimate skill here. So this way you can make an endgame build around this ultimate by stacking a lot of critical strike damage and scaling this damage in the endgame this way. So it seems very promising that you can make a ultimate build, build your character around one ultimate skill and just scale the damage up to the high ceilings, which is already possible with Rogue. So we already have something like the Death Trap Rogue or Rain of Arrows Rogue, and with these changes this should be even more powerful and more fun in the future. So I'm also very excited about that. And also they have introduced some further aspects regarding ultimate skills. So here we have one on the left hand, Vehemence Brawler's aspect, which is like a general damage increase if you use ultimate skills. So here it just says after casting ultimate skills, you will increase your total damage by 30%. And you will gain also additional ultimate skill ranks. So this is a very nice aspect for the Rogue class, which usually struggles with finding enough good aspects for some builds. So I was playing with Victimize Rogue, for example, the Victimized Dance of Knives Rogue especially, and there you just have, yeah, not many good aspects, and most of them rely on crowd controlling enemies, which is very annoying. So this aspect here is just, yeah, is a no-brainer for such builds. You will immediately put it in such builds. So yeah, I'm very excited about this one. And the other one also looks interesting. So the right aspect here, aspect of Apogeic Furor, it is more like an aspect for builds wrapped around ultimate skills. So here you can increase your ultimate skill damage by up to 180% if you're able to spam ultimates over and over again. And this is obviously also made for the Rogue class, because we have something like Preparation with Rogue, where we can reset all of our cooldowns and reset our ultimates cooldowns, so we can our ultimates anyways. So with this aspect we will just basically triple the damage of any ultimate build with the Rogue class. So yeah, very nice aspects here. Very excited about some ultimate skill Rogue builds. And now I want to share some additional information. They have also, one second, they have not shown this in the live stream, at least not everything here, but there were also some interesting highlights. So first of all, that's something they have shown in the live stream, so I can also give you the video footage here. So we will get a new unique, which is, which are this Assassin's Stride. So here your mobility skills will always be shadow imbued. So the idea here is to play something like a dash rogue or a shadow step rogue. Actually, this is possible already, so you could play shadow step rogue. You just need to bring it down to a certain threshold of cooldown, and then you will immediately, you will be able to spam shadow step if it's below 3 seconds, because it will reset itself with a skill modifier in a skill tree. But the idea here is to focus more on shadow imbuement and dealing damage with shadow imbuement. But I'm not sure if this will work actually. So my first, Caltrops, by the way, also important. My first idea is that my first feeling is that it will not work to scale shadow imbuement damage in the endgame, even with the new unique, and also we got a new aspect that I'm gonna show you also. Oh, by the way, I realized you guys couldn't see the video here. Sorry, I will show you it again. So this is the animation for this item. You just can use shadow step or dash, and it will be shadow imbued all the time. So this is how it looks like. Yeah, sorry for that. But yeah, I don't think that this will work in the end game. Shadow imbuement is very difficult to scale, and basically all the other imbuments like poison and cold are most of the time better in the end game anyways. So yeah, we will see if that will work. But here you can see another important change. So Caltrops now, they removed the jumping back animation from the skill. So now it just works like a smoke grenade. You just have to throw it at some enemies or throw it on the ground, and it will remain there and you will not jump back. So this is also very handy utility rework kind of the skills. So very appreciate that. And now we're gonna take a look at the patch notes, or the blog post, which also has some further information they did not share in the live stream. So everything here, you just saw it in the live clip, the new unique boots. But here you can already see some new aspects. So we have Slice and Dice legendary aspect, and this one looks very fancy. So now Twisting Blade's initial hit will cleave. And cleave means that it will splash its damage to enemies around the first target hit. So you will basically transform your first Twisting Blade hit into AoE damage. And this is very powerful. So, and also Twisting Blades will return up to 45% faster. But if we take a look, for example, at my Rogue tier list that I made 2 months ago, then you can see that I have put Twisting Blades, like the Poison Twisting Blades variant, into S+ tier back then, but only versus bosses, so versus single targets. Because Twisting Blades, together with Poison, and they have, by the way, also buffed in the mid-season patch, they have buffed the key passive, which scales your poison damage. So Poison imbued Twisting Blades Rogue will be extremely powerful versus single targets, such as bosses. And now with this legendary aspect, if the Twisting Blades will also deal more AoE damage, then I think this build will be very powerful. So here I had it in A tier, just because the AoE was not good enough. But with the change to more AoE damage, I could imagine Twisting Blades being in the S tier. And maybe even S+ tier. So we will see in the PTR how it works out. But basically, this is something that I expect for Twisting Blades. Very powerful change here. I'm very excited to try it out. And here we have another aspect for the Shadow Imbuement. Like I mentioned, the idea here is that the developers want us to try out more Shadow Imbuement builds in the endgame. And here Shadow Imbuement will deal now its damage or some part of the damage every second. And also will deal increased damage. But like I mentioned, I don't think that this will be enough. I can do some calculations in the next days and then I will know it for sure. But my internal feeling tells me that it's not going to be enough for an endgame build. Maybe you will have something like a decent speedrun build with Shadow Step Rogue. But I think you already have a decent Shadow Step Rogue build for speed farming. So it actually deals enough damage for that, but I don't think that Shadow Imbuement will improve this build any further. But we will see. I will also try it out in the PTR probably. But yeah, that's it for the Rogue changes that I wanted to highlight today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and this gave you some ideas on what you can play during the PTR maybe. So my recommendation is Twisting Blades Rogue and maybe one of these new ultimate skill builds for Rogue. But yeah, write me in the comment if you're excited or not for Season 7. And also tell me if you're gonna play Path of Exile 2. I'm also gonna start with the early access at December the 6th. So I will play like 3 days of PTR and then switch to Path of Exile. I'm very excited about that as well. So write me down in the comments if you're also into Path of Exile or not. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope I see you next one. Have a nice day and bye bye.